Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another video. This is going to be for the Walking Dead companion series. So yeah, so recently has been announced that they have found another actress for the spin-off series, and yeah, this time around they decided to get Kim Dickens. So yeah, she's most famous for portraying, for being in Deadwood, which I believe is a TV show. In Deadwood, Lost, Sons of Anarchy, Friday Night Lights, um, and Trem or Trem, Treme. So yeah, basically she's been hired for the upcoming spin-off series of The Walking Dead, and she is set to portray Nancy Tompkins. So yeah, so for those who don't know much about the upcoming spin-off series, um, and don't know who Nancy Tompkins will be, she's basically a mother of two children. Ashley Tompkins is her daughter, and I forget the boy's name. Um, I forget the boy's name though. But yeah, she has two children, and she's supposed to be in like her 30s, like early to mid 30s from what it seems. So it kind of makes sense that they would hire her. She kind of does look like she's in her mid 30s. So yeah, I don't really know much about her, like the actress as a whole. Um, don't know who she really is. Never really heard of her, but she looks apart. Especially with the with the character description they have for Nancy Tompkins. So basically, let me pull up the description here. Nancy Tompkins. Um, yeah. Nancy Tompkins is the female lead. She's 30 something, single mom, has two kids, and Nancy looks like the girl next door, but she does have an edge to her. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that they would hire her. Yeah, her two children are Ashley Tompkins and Nick Tompkins, which they have already hired. Um, so yeah, I mean they've hired most of the main characters. They have hired Sean Cabrera, which is which is gonna be played by Cliff Curtis. They have hired Nancy Tompkins, played by Kim Dickens. They have hired Nick Tompkins, played by Frank Delane. They have hired Al Ashley Tompkins, played by Alicia Debnam Carey. Um, So yeah, now they just need to hire three more characters, and I actually didn't realize this. I guess this is also recent. But now looking at this, originally we only had what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Originally we only had 6 characters, but I guess they added another character. They added this character called Matt, who was supposed to be Ashley's jock boyfriend. So basically, Ashley Tompkins' boyfriend, who's supposed to be kind of a jock. Um, pretty cool, pretty cool. Didn't know this up until now. I'll leave the links down below for those who want to check it out. A link for the news of Kim Dickens portraying Nancy Tompkins, and the one of this new character called Matt. Didn't really know anything about it. So yeah. So by now they only need to hire 3 more actors. One for Cody Cabrera, one for Matt, and one for Andrea Chapman. Yeah. I kind of think though that since they just announced Matt, or just recently, because his name wasn't on it last week, because I checked this almost on a weekly basis, his name wasn't on it last week. I think he's gonna die pretty soon. I don't know, predictions, but let's just see when the trailer comes out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the companion series. Really excited for it to see how it turns out, and it's been recently announced that it will take place in Los Angeles, LA, California. So okay, so after I just finished that video that you just saw, I just did a little bit of research on the Matt character. I clicked on his name, and there's apparently 3 other characters that have not been officially announced, technically. So yeah, what I did, as you could probably tell, is I edited that video, cut it a bit, and then merged it with this one. So yeah, basically, aside from Matt, who I will remind you is Ashley's jock boyfriend, we have 3 other new characters: Casper, Tobias, and Art. So yeah, Casper. Who is this guy? Okay, so Casper is so this character Casper he is Nick's drug dealer friend. So yeah, Nick Tompkins who I will remind you is gonna be played by Frank Delane. He is a drug dealer. Once the kid Nick is a drug dealer or in middle of rehab, and he's just trying to get overcome his troubles, and this is his drug dealing friend. Um, so yeah, I mean, we really haven't had any drug dealers in The Walking Dead, aside from maybe Merle, from Merle, and that one's even questionable. Yeah, but yeah, there's possibly proof. But aside from Merle, there's really no other drug dealers in The Walking Dead, so that'd be interesting. Um, Next up we have Tobias. Basically, he is a wise beyond his years student. So, yeah, that's all it says for the character description. A wise beyond his years student. So what does that mean? Okay, basically it says he's a student. So, yeah. So, okay, so it could go. So it's possibly a friend of Nick or Ashley Tompkins. Because these miscellaneous characters, which I will be putting a link down below, do seem like teenagers, 16, 17, or 18. This kid may possibly like a junior year. He's probably a student at whatever school they go to. So yeah, he's probably a friend of Ashley or Nick. But I want to think it'd be Ashley because she is smart, and this kid is also, as what he sounds like, a wise beyond his years student. So yeah, and then last but not least, we have Art, who is a principal who works at the same school as Sean and Nancy. A principal who works at the same school as Sean and Nancy. Okay, so Sean works at the principal too. At the school too. Let me just look up his character description. So yeah, he's a teacher. I thought he was a counselor. So yeah, it makes sense that this character Art will know everybody. It seems like everybody seems to go to this school, more or less, because you have three teenagers. Officially, we have three main teenagers, which are Cody Cabrera, and Nick and Ashley Tompkins, and they are teenagers. So yeah, plus you have the three new characters, Matt, Casper, and Tobias. So they're students as well. Art will be the principal, and then Nancy and Sean are the teachers. So that makes sense, making everybody almost like a family. The one thing though with this new dynamic, I am kind of curious is as to how are they going to include Andrea Chapman into the mix, because she just seems like a random character. Because her description is somewhat okay. So okay, I swear this has been edited this has been edited a lot since I last checked it upon. Okay, so let me just reiterate. Okay, so Andrea Chapman is the ex-wife of Sean Cabrera, mother of Cody Cabrera. That makes sense. Now they can include her into the mix. Sean is the ex-husband of Andrea, and he is going to be played by Cliff Curtis. He is the father of Cody Cabrera. Makes sense. He's also a teacher and works at the same place as Nancy Tompkins and Art. Nancy Tompkins is the mother of Nick and Ashley Tompkins. Ashley's boyfriend is called Matt. Nick's drug dealer is Casper, and Ashley and Nick are possibly friends with Tobias. Art should know everybody except for Andrea. Okay, so that makes a whole lot of sense. I'm gonna be completely honest. From like last week to today, which is when I checked it, it has changed a lot. None of this was there last week, but now all of this is here this week. So yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah. Do I like all the fact that they're trying to interconnect everything? It's interesting. I mean, I do know they're trying to make the show a bit more, not family friendly. I'm not gonna say because it's never gonna be family friendly, but a bit more family oriented. So I think having this aspect, everybody know each other before the apocalypse, is kind of interesting because in the original show, the only people everybody really didn't know each other before the apocalypse. I mean, you had Rick, Shane, Carl, and Lori. They knew each other. You had Andrea and Amy who knew each other before the apocalypse. Daryl and Merle knew each other before the apocalypse. Aside from that, you really didn't have many people who knew each other from before the apocalypse. You also had Carol, Sophia, and Ed. And aside from that, everybody else just kind of came into the group from the start. I mean, then you also had Herschel and his family, but that's a whole different situation. And then the prisoners. Um, but aside from that, you really didn't have many people who knew each other before the apocalypse. So having this whole group know each other before the apocalypse is interesting. In my opinion, this just makes it a whole lot better. So yeah, that's basically it. This should be basically it for this video. Subscribe if not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. What are your thoughts again on Kim Dickens going to be portraying Nancy Tompkins? I think that's an interesting casting choice. She looks the part. Hopefully, she is a great actress. If you have seen her in action, comment down below your thoughts on the characters and what are your thoughts on everybody knowing each other before the apocalypse. And yeah, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.